Good morning. Welcome to the online classes on Internet of Things and Overview. In this class, we will mainly speak about the sources of IoT. So, here we will be speaking about hardware sources that is available for the IoT or for the development of the IoT. So, some of the hardware boards that are used are Arduino, MicroArduino, BeagleBoard and Raspberry. So while coming to the hardware prototypes, needs the support of the IDE. So using the help of the IDE is the integrated development environment. So using the help of the IDE, we will be developing the softwares, firmwares and the APIs that can support the hardware. Okay, so let us see about the some of the popular IoT development boards one by one. So the first one is the Arduino Uno. So while coming to the Arduino Uno, it will be using the microcontroller ATmega32U4. So it will be supporting Wi-Fi, Ethernet, USB port, micro SD card slot, and you'll be also having the three reset buttons there. So this board also combines the Atheros AR9331 which will be running on the Linux. Next we will be having the MicroArduino board. So MicroArduino, as the name suggests, it is a small board which is compatible with the Arduino that can be stacked with the other boards also. So it is a small board, as the name suggests, it is a small board which will be compatible with the Arduino and it can be stacked together with the other boards. So while coming to the hardware designs, they are mainly open source. Then we have the Intel Galileo. So while coming to the Intel Galileo, it is developed by the Arduino. So it is based on the architecture of the x86. So again, it is an open source hardware that will be featuring the SoC X1000. So Galileo is developed by the Arduino. So it is obviously compatible with the Arduino. So it is made compatible with the Arduino. So while coming to here, it will also supports the power over Ethernet. So it is going to support the power over Ethernet and it has the 6 analog inputs also. Next we will be having the Intel Edison. While coming to the Intel Edison, it enables the creation of the prototypes and fast development of the prototyping projects. So and it can be also produces IoT and the variable computing devices. So it is mainly the computing module. It also enables the seamless devices internetworking and device to cloud communication. So it is also useful in the internetworking. What do you mean by internetworking? Communication or the connection between the two devices, right? So it is also helpful in the communication between the device to cloud. So you will be getting the information from the device, but where you are going to store or where you are going to analyze them, you will be storing them in the cloud, right? So the tools like you can have the collect tool, you can store and you can process the data in the cloud. So process rules on the data stream. So you can collect the data, you can store the data, and you can also process the data in the cloud, plus you can also process the rules on the data stream. So while coming to here, it will generate triggers and the alerts based on the advanced analytics. So if you found anything, it will generate the alert messages. Next is BeagleBoard. So while coming to the BeagleBoard, they have the very low power requirement, and it is a card-like computer which can run Android and also the Linux system, and both the hardware designs and the software of the IoT devices are the open source here. So it is going to require the very low power requirement for the operation purpose, and it also supports both Android and the Linux system. And while coming to the both hardware and softwares are the open source. Next is Raspberry Pi Wireless Inventors Kit, that is RASWIC. So while coming to the Raspberry Pi, it includes the documentation of around 29 different projects, and you can also develop your own project also there. And there is a fee for the devices, but all that included code is open source, so you can access them and you can also change them, or you can also build it for your commercial purpose also. Now next is role of the RFID and IoT applications. So while coming to the RFID, most of the earlier IoT systems were internet connected RFID based systems. So while coming to the RFID, it is going to enable the tracking system, inventory control, identification in the supply chain, access to the buildings, road tolls or the security store center entries, and also while coming to the temperature checking or temperature monitoring sensors also RFID can be used. Now while coming to the RFID networks, have new applications in the factory design, 3PL management, brand protection, anti-counterfeiting in the business process, mainly for the purpose of the payment, leasing, and the insurance and the quality control. Now next is wireless sensor networks, that is WSN. So while coming to the wireless sensor network, your sensors will acquire data from remote location, right? Your sensors will acquire the data from remote locations. So every time it is not possible for you to have the wired sensors. So if it is not an wired sensor, then how the data is getting transmitted from the sensor to the cloud, or from the device to the storing area for the analyzing purpose or for other purposes. Now while coming to the wireless sensor, it is going to use the radio frequencies transfers for the communication purpose. Now while coming to here, the each node either has an analog sensor with the signal conditioner circuit, or it is going to have the digital sensor. While coming to the digital sensor, it is going to generate or your output will be digital, while coming to the analog sensor, your output will be analog signal. So while coming to the digital signal, you need not use any conditioner, but while coming to the analog sensor, you have to make use of the signal conditioner circuit. Now, what is the main purpose of the signal conditioner circuit? Now, while coming to signal conditioner circuit, it will prepare the analog signals so that it can be converted into the digital signal. Okay, so what it will be doing, it will be preparing the analog signals that is generated from the analog signals to easily convert it into digital form, so that it can be easily converted into digital form. So if you are going to use the analog sensor, you need the support of the signal conditioner circuit. Now, while coming to the signal conditioning circuit, it is mainly used when you are going to do the data acquire. When you are going to acquire the data, then only you are going to make use of the signal conditioner circuit. Now, coming to the sensing or the purpose of the sensors, it can be used to monitor the temperature. It can be also used to monitor the light intensity, presence of the darkness, metal proximity, traffic, physical presence, chemical or the biological data also. Now, wireless sensor network definition. Many people have come up with the many definition. Let us see some of them one by one. Now, WSN definition: network in which each sensor node connects wirelessly. Right? What is the WSN? Wireless sensor node. So, network in which the sensor node connects wirelessly and has a capability of computation for data compaction, aggregation and analysis, plus communicating and networking. So what do you mean by WSN? WSN is a wireless sensor network. So network in which each sensor node connects wirelessly. So they are connected wirelessly as the name suggests, and it has the capabilities of computation of the data compaction. Now first and foremost, what do you mean by data compaction? Now when you are sending the data from the sensor to other places like storage area or any other things, you cannot send every data. Yes, you can send the every data, but what is going to happen if you send every data, or if you send too much data? Some of the information will be lost. So what you are going to do here, you will be reducing the number of data elements. So data compaction is a reduction in the data elements, bandwidth, cost and the time for the generation of that particular signal, so or the transmission, and storing the data without the loss of the information by eliminating the unnecessary information or by eliminating the redundant data. Okay, so what you are going to do? What do you mean by data compaction? Data compaction, that means you are going to have the reduction in the data elements, bandwidth, cost and the time for the generation of it, transmission time or the storage of the data without, okay, please keep in that mind, storage of the data without the loss of information by eliminating the unnecessary data, or you are going to eliminating the redundant data. Okay, so this is called as data compaction. So after that you are going to aggregate it, so that means you are going to combine them and you are going to generate the summary and those things. Afterwards you are going to analyze them and how the communication is possible between nodes to nodes by the networking. Now while coming to the WSN nodes is autonomous, independent computing power and capability to send or request. Okay, it has the capability to send requests and receive responses from the cloud or from the sensor, and it can also forward data forward and have the routing capabilities. Now what do you mean by data forwarding? Data forwarding means it is going to forward the data that is generated from the nodes or from the different layers or from the sensor. That is one thing. And another one is routing capabilities. When you are going to pass the message from one node to another node, it is not compulsory that you have to follow the same route. You can follow the different path so that you can reach the destination fast. So sensor has also the capability to routing also. Now let us come across the another definition. A wireless network consisting of spatially distributed autonomous devices using sensors to cooperatively monitor the physical or the environmental condition such as temperature, sound, vibration, pressure, motion of pollutant at the different location. Now while coming to the WSN node, so WSN node has the limited computing power, so it may change topology very easily and also very rapidly. Now the WSN network in the topology changing environment functions as an ad hoc network. A WSN network in the environment is generally self-configuring, self-organizing, self-healing and self-discovering. M2M communication. So the process of communication of the physical object or device at machine with the others of the same type, mostly monitoring but also for the control purpose. So M to M, what do you mean by M here? M is a machine. So machine to machine communication. So here you are going to communicate with one machine with the another. So machine in an M2M system embeds the smart device. While smart device will sense us the data or the status of the machine and perform the computation and the communication function. Now while coming to the machine to machine, a device can communicate both with the wired or the wireless systems. Now we have listed out also the some of the communication protocol. We can use 6LoWPAN, LWM, 2M, MQTT and XMPP. So while coming to here, each communication device is assigned with the 48-bit IPv6 address. So it will be having the IPv6 address there. While coming to the smart devices or the machines collect the data which is transmitted via the internet or which is transmitted through the internet, to the other devices or the machines which is located remotely. Now machine to machine must deploy the device to device and carry out to the coordination, monitoring and controlling of the devices. So what do you mean by coordination? Because when you pass the messages or anything, the first one should be knowing about the second one also, right? If that person is not knowing one and another person, the communication is not possible. So they will be communicate without the usage of the internet, whereas IoT deploys the internet, server, internet protocols, and server or the cloud end application. Then you are going to have the services and the processors. So while coming to here, the main difference between the M2M and the IoT, you can say that it is M2M, you are going to communicate with the device to device, but you are not going to make use of the internet. But while coming to the IoT system or IoT devices, you are going to make use of the internet here, so that it becomes very easy to store the data either in the server or in the cloud. Now M2M has many applications in the field like industrial automation, logistics, smart grid, smart cities, health, and also in the defense field. Now initial applications of the machine to machine were found in automation and the instrumentation only, but now these include telemetric applications and the industrial internet of things. Now some of the examples of the IoT. So we have the wearable smart watches there, so using which you can track the steps, distance or the calories that has been burned, and you can check your active minutes also, and you can check the your stats also. Then you can also track how long have been sleeping or you have been silent, and you can also have the alarm, so you can interchange the messages also. And in the same manner we have the smart homes and also the smart cities. While coming to the wearable smart watches, it is mainly developed by the Microsoft, Apple, and the Samsung, which are the three main companies. While coming to the smart homes, you can control your electronic appliances, maybe like TV. You can have the video conferencing, video on the demand, Wi-Fi control. Like these many controls you can have. Plus, you can have the home security. You can have the SS control there. You can have the alarms. You can have the lighting control. You can have the energy efficiency. You can have different controlling the different appliances like refrigerator, washing machine. Those things also can be done. And next is smart cities. While coming to the smart cities, we'll be trying to distribute the data, and we want to collect the very useful information, and so that we can use them for the business purposes. Thank you.